What is going on, everybody? This is Purple Parlor episode, was it 16 already?
16.
It is your boy SK Realistic Randy Rap. We're 9-2. We're feeling great, y'all. And we're going to get right down to it right after this.
I say the same. I say the same. I say the same. Alright.
What is going on, y'all? This is Purple Parlor episode 16. Welcome in. We are 9-2 football team, y'all. How we feeling?
It was stressful, but they got the win, man. Hey, Rap, let me ask you something real quick. So I made a promise that if Jonathan Grenard, if he gets a sack and does his sack celebration, which is the jump switch kick, that I'll do it. And I did it, and it was cool. And I think I was getting trolled by the people in the chat, but they said that you can do it, that you have done it. Is that true?
Really? Who said that? Boy,
I don't remember who.
Easy, man. They
But
lied.
I think they were trying to just get me going there.
Yeah, for sure. No, and look, I can't do it.
Flexible.
You know what I mean? I can't do it. I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who told you that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. I don't think I could do that.
It was
so you did it.
man.
You did it during the game stream?
During the chat, man. I did it probably 5 times.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because I thought it was just a jump switch kick, but actually Grenard does like a little bit of a Ray Lewis slide, and then switch kick. And I was like, oh. And so I did it. And then after I did it, they said, actually, he claps underneath his legs, which I'm pretty sure I was getting trolled for that, but I did that as well. But yeah, I did it 5 to 6 times, man.
My boy was getting busy over there on the live stream, man. Y'all better tap in.
It was stressful, but it was a good time.
Yeah, no, for real, man. Talk about a game. I know we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh man, another roller coaster of a game too. It wasn't nice and steady like we wanted it to be. It started out rough. Started out really good, then started out really rough, and then we kind of found our footing, grew a lead, and then that last 27 seconds it was just, well, I would say before that, I would say the actual kickoff, before the Chicago Bears were able to come down and get that touchdown, we should have kicked it out of the back of the end zone. That gave them an opportunity to return it, put them, I think they're just across midfield. Thank God for Dallas Turner and his speed, because he saved the touchdown there, and possibly the game even. But Vikings come out on top 30-27. It went into overtime. Bears got the ball first. Vikings got I believe it was a 3-and-out, if I'm not mistaken, and then took the ball downfield. Sam Darnold was absolutely lights out in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and ended up coming out on top 30-27, man. These divisional games, I tell you, man, especially against the Bears, they're always weird. There's always something crazy that happens, especially at Soldier Field. So I can't say I was necessarily surprised, but I did think once we stretched the lead to, 11 points with, I think it was a minute left or something like that. Maybe less. I thought it was over. But again, you can never just walk away with the dub and just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna coast our way to the end as Vikings fans. That never happens. But I mean, how are we feeling though, man? What kind of stuck out to you guys in yesterday's game?
I'm gonna say Jordan Addison, man. It's about damn time. And quite honestly, like, if you want to, I don't know how far this team is gonna go, man, but if you want to have a chance against teams like Detroit, really in the NFC, it's only Detroit that I'm worried about for this Vikings team. But if you want to keep up with a team like that, how they have a high octane offense, you got to use all your weapons. And Jordan Addison yesterday, it's about damn time. Free 3, $162, and a touchdown. Sam Darnold, he was pretty good for the most part. There were times where his ball placement wasn't great, but I tell you what, man, Addison got a touchdown. He should have gotten 2 or 3, especially on that first possession where Aaron Jones fumbled. Yo, Jordan Addison made a hard cut to the right, and I said, oh my God, he's open, throw it to him, and they didn't do it. So it's all about being aware of the reads, the receivers that are making their breaks, especially when you have good protection, because I feel like That's when Sam Darnold can be at his worst sometimes, when he has just a clean pocket. But they got the win. I'm glad that Jordan Addison went all the way off, and you're going to need to utilize all your weapons. TJ Hawkinson got over 100 yards. You're going to have to use all your weapons to really go as far as you can possibly go come playoff time.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man.
Yeah.
We got Viking Rob. I see you, man. Blunt was good. Barbara, Julian, what's happening, everybody, man? We see you, man. Eduardo from Canada, man. The B-Flow ambassador. You hear me? Shout out Eduardo, man. Shout out TP Way the Giant. Talking about Daniel Jones coming soon, man. Hell out of here, man. We got 6 in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, oh man. We see y'all and we appreciate y'all for sure.
Yeah, we might spend 2 minutes on the possibility of Daniel Jones.
But speaking of who I was who I'm impressed with, I mean, first of all, Sam Darnold, of course, he had a really good game, but TJ Hawkinson, man, just bouncing off of Jordan Addison, man, like it really shows you like I'm actually gonna do something about it, where it's the Justin Jefferson effect, man, the Jay Jettas effect, man, and listen. This just what he said about it too. Like, hey, it's either y'all let me go off or everybody else goes off. Like, that's just what it is. And we've seen that. And I'm glad that Sam Darnold is actually noticing that too, and being able to understand that rather than just trying to force the ball to number 18. Realizing, man, you got other playmakers on the team, man. Get them the rock, Justin Jefferson isn't a diva, so he doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But TJ Hawkinson balled out yesterday, low key, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think this was the game, and hopefully this was kind of the turning point as far as Sam Darnold realized, wake-up call, saying Sam Darnold's looking like, wait a minute, I don't have to force-feed Justin Jefferson now. Like, I have Jordan Addison. I have TJ Hawkinson, which looks like he's 100% now, which is great. So I think this may be the game where Sam Darnold's like, you know what? I think I can really spread this ball around and trust other guys outside of Justin Jefferson. And thank God, and I think we kind of mention this every other episode on here, thank God we have a superstar wide receiver that's not a diva in Justin Jefferson. Because if, the majority of superstar receivers, even in a game like this, yes, they'll be happy with the win. But in the back of their head, they're like, man, I mean, I'm sure Justin Jefferson wants the ball, but at the same time, he said it perfectly. He said, either I'm going to eat or everybody else is going to eat. And today, everybody else ate. So I'm extremely grateful for Justin Jefferson and the way he carries himself. The dude just wants to win. He had 2 receptions for 27 yards. I believe he only had like 4 or 5 targets, maybe. And that's a good thing in this case, because if you look at the film, they were triple covering him. They're double covering. They're just all over. There was no room to get the ball to him. So I respect Sam for actually realizing that and saying, okay, let me just start getting my other guys involved. But I think the biggest thing for me, specifically with Sam Darnold, is there wasn't any of those like reckless, like, oh my God, Sam, what are you doing plays yesterday? And actually, that may be 2 games in a row that we haven't got any crazy reckless plays from Sam Darnold or turnover-worthy plays from Sam Darnold. So that gives me confidence moving forward. And I know as a topic of conversation last week of, can Sam Darnold return to his, first 5 weeks of the season form? Well, these past 2 weeks, he's looked like that quarterback from the first 5 weeks of the season. So, hey, man, I love it. And if you look back at Sam Darnold's career stats and kind of how they manipulate throughout each season, December is usually his strongest month. So we haven't even entered Sam December, Sam Darnold, Sam December. I don't know. Sam Simber. We haven't even.
They all whack as hell. I ain't gonna lie. They all whack as hell.
You can blend it together.
But
nice try.
I loved what I seen out of Sam Darnold, man, especially out of these last 2 games. No turnover-worthy plays that I can think of. So that's a win, man.
Yeah, he was actually throwing the ball away yesterday, that I noticed, which was good. That he usually listen, Sam, you don't have to keep the ball in play. You feel me? Like, I don't know why. Sometimes he just felt like, hey, I can't throw it away. I have to at least try something. So I'm just going to force this shit into quadruple coverage and see what happens. Nah, dog, you can't do that. Yesterday, I seen you actually rolling out, noticing nobody was open. You said, fuck it, throw it out of bounds. Live to fight another down, baby. That's what I'm a fan of. So shout out Sam Darnold yesterday for having a clean game, for sure.
Hey, and shout out Nick Mullins.
Oh, here we
Shout
go
out
with
Nick.
this
Hey, you
bullshit.
know what?
Mullins,
He is
Facts.
100% on the season, though. Facts.
That's facts. There were
He
he
is two
came
for
into
two.
the game.
clutch plays.
Yeah.
He came into the game for 2 plays while Sam Darnold was down, dealing with some sort of leg injury.
Mhm.
2 plays he was in there, 2 first downs.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones run for a first down and a pass by Nick Mullins. I don't remember who it is that he passed it to.
Aaron
He passed
Jones.
it to
That
Aaron
was
Jones.
excellent.
Yeah, it was the Aaron Jones. Great play call, by the
Yeah.
way, by
Excellent.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, and they were saying that KOC had just drawn up
Yeah,
that
that's a new play.
this week.
Yeah.
This is a new play that he kind of just
And that shit
threw
was
in there.
amazing.
And for him to call it with Nick Mullins as his quarterback, I'm sure he didn't really work on it with Nick Mullins. He probably worked on it with Sam Darnold. And for him to call that play in that time, I believe it was 3rd and 12 at that time. So it was a long conversion. And for him to call that play, for him to have the balls to call that play with your backup quarterback, it shows the type of confidence he has in not just Sam Darnold, but the rest of this team and every other guy that he puts in position to play. So, hey, man, tip the cap to KOC and the rest of this team and the guys that stepped up, Nick Mullins. But one more thing on Sam Darnold that impressed me this entire season, the dude's pocket movement is like elite. It's got to be up there with some of the best to where he can sense pressure in the pocket and he moves extremely well. I don't know if it's just because we've been so used to Kirk Cousins not being on that type of level as far as kind of filling out the pocket, but Sam Darnold just looks elite at doing it. He steps up in the pocket at the right time when he needs to. You know, he's moving to the left, he's moving to the right, out of the way of pressure. Like Darnold's looked elite.
He kind of
in the
ebbs
pocket,
and flows through it though, because there was a stretch of games where he lost that confidence. I think during the 5-0 start, man, we saw that elusiveness like never before, kind of like Case Keenum in a sense. And then I think that 2-game losing streak, he kind of saw ghosts again. But I will say what we saw yesterday, and maybe even the game before that against Tennessee, we started to see it come back to life. It's all about, can he be consistent with it or not?
Yeah. And I think where he kind of took that, where it didn't look as good. You gotta remember, dude lost his all-pro left tackle. And then on top of that,
replacement left
and lost his replacement in this game, and
Yeah.
he looked that comfortable in the pocket. So you got to give him credit there. But again, we're always gonna go back to, we know kind of what Sam Darnold is. He's playing really great right now. But when there's times where he messes up and he has those boneheaded decisions, we gotta sit there and be like, well, that's just kind of what Sam Darnold is. But these last 2 games, man, gotta give the guy credit. He's been playing at an MVP caliber level. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley,
I ain't gonna say
he would be up
MVP.
there.
I ain't gonna say it.
No. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, it would be a 2-man race between Josh Allen and Jared Goff.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying in the top 5. That's when I say in the conversation.
Maybe he does lead the league in turnovers. So
Right.
Hey, he hasn't turned the ball over the past 2 games, though.
it doesn't matter. He still leads the league in turnovers.
Yeah,
even without turning the ball over in 2 weeks, he still leads the league. That should tell you the story right there. That's enough right there to be like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
I forgot. Did Josh Allen win league MVP yet?
No.
He hasn't, right?
No.
Okay. Because I'm just making, because I know, but outside of this season, Josh Allen has been extremely turnover prone.
Yeah,
I give him a lot of credit for,
and I think he's bouncing back this season. I think he has his
yeah.
eyes on the prize this season. For sure.
And we need them to beat the Lions in the next couple of weeks too.
Which
so
I think they
go Bills.
They really can too. I think it's going to be.
It's possible. It's certainly
very
possible.
But the Lions just look like they're controlling every game, bro. It looks like they're not even like it's not even a competition, bro. They're steamrolling shit, bro. It is.
I keep thinking they're that they've peaked too early, but in all seriousness, maybe this is just who they are the rest of the year, which is really scary. But real quick, man, shout out to the execution in overtime, both on defense and on offense, getting a 3-and-out, Jonathan Grenard getting a big time sack, and then for Sam Darnold to march the ball up the field, John Parker Romo. they did what they needed to do, albeit it was very frustrating leading up to that point, but they got the win.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
are we going to talk about the 4th and 1 play or what? Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
know I'm public enemy number one.
Oh, no. I spoke on it during my post game, bro. Like, hey, look, man, I
Go
called
ahead.
them out on that shit. I mean, that shit was ridiculous in my opinion. You talking about when we went for it, right? In the middle of the game?
Yeah, and I didn't even have a problem with the fact that they went for it. It
No,
was
it was
just
the play call.
itself.
no,
Doing
for
an
sure.
empty set shotgun formation up 24-10. You have a chance to go up 27-10 or maybe even 31-10. Either way, you have a chance to go up by 3 scores. And yo, I don't do the whole Twitter shit, but I'm gonna say this one last time. Apparently I wasn't clear enough. I've said time and time again, yo, Kevin O'Connell is a really, really good head coach.
Yeah.
How so? Let me count the ways. Last week, I did a whole last video talking about why KOC should be the front runner for Coach of the Year just because of how they have surpassed all expectations compared to what was expected of them going into the season. Let's be real here. Yeah, Dan Campbell, he's in the conversation, but the Detroit Lions are literally doing everything that we expected them to do. They're Super Bowl contenders. Coming into the season, they're Super Bowl contenders right now. ESPN projected them to have 4 wins. They're going to get into the playoffs, 12 or 13 wins. I think Kevin O'Connell should be the front runner. Maybe Jim Harbaugh has an argument to be Coach of the Year. And for not just the culture that he has built, but dealing with injuries. You look at the San Francisco 49ers, for example. Even when they were fully healthy, they were struggling to stay afloat. And going up against the Packers without their starting quarterback, without their starting left tackle, the injuries have just been piling on. Nick Bosa out for the game as well. They're a disaster. The Vikings, the injuries that they have dealt with, 2 left tackles getting hurt, your kicker getting hurt, a starting cornerback getting hurt, your rookie quarterback who is definitely going to play at some point, he got hurt. Everything that KOC has done, for the most part, has put this team in the position that they are in right now. The one critique that I have of this guy is the situational play calling. We just talked about it. 4th and 1. There's no reason to do that because of the goofiness that he shows at times in situational play calling. He allows the opponent to stay in the game. So 4th and 1. And let's be real about this. If you had at least shown a formation where there was the threat of a run or a pass to get the defense thinking, all right, cool. You live with the results, whatever they are. But doing an empty set shotgun, it didn't work out. And the Bears, up 24-10, the Bears then scored a touchdown of their own. What? Allowing the opponent to stay in the game. When I make those critiques, it's not, oh, I'm bitching and moaning and I'm just looking for something to complain about. I want to see this team go as far as they can possibly go. I want to see this team win a championship, and I want to see them win bad. I don't want them to fail because of this identifiable, correctable issue that has been an ongoing issue for years. That's all that I've been saying. This team can go far if they want to. Either KOC gets better at situational play calling, just be aware of what's at stake, or if you can't, give it to somebody else. I don't even understand why this is a hot take. That's all I'm trying to say.
If I'm playing devil's advocate here on that specific play call, Darnold could have ran for the first down.
Sure, he could have.
He could have.
Sure, he
And
could've.
we're not
But you
sitting
don't
here and
wanna
we're not
put
having this
ball in
conversation.
his hands,
But why are we putting Sam Darnold, a guy that can be erratic at times, in that situation? And one last point I want to make here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Go ahead.
No, like I totally agree with that play specifically, but I don't think that like that play specifically, yes, but does that take away from, I mean, we can go back to the play call we were talking about with the 3rd and 12 to Aaron Jones, or the one that busted, TJ Hawkinson open down the sideline and things like, yes, that play call in that moment pissed me off. And yes, you got to have faith, especially when you're running back. I mean, I know that was in the second quarter, I believe. I think that was in the second quarter that happened. But I mean, Aaron Jones ended up popping 4.8 yards a carry. I mean, listen, man, you got to trust your running back to get 1 yard and your offensive lineman to help him do that. Like, I think that needs to be the case. I don't believe that you should be sitting there depending on Sam Darnold to make a throw like that. You know what I mean? On 4th and 1.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that Kevin O'Connell should give up play calling just based off the one play. It's like every game there's one sequence where we get mad at KOC. There's one sequence. But then when you look at the entirety of the game
working that he was committed to, and I'm not trying to sit here. I guess the main point that I'm trying to drive home here is that, y'all remember the anger that you felt at the end of 2017, where after the Saints game, where you blew a 17-0 lead in the first half going into the second half, where you're like, all right, just work on that, be prepared for the Eagles, and they weren't prepared for it. You remember how mad you were seeing it, or at least it was foreshadowing going into the Eagles game. This is foreshadowing. I'm not trying to sit here and see this issue rear its ugly head when you go up against a good team or you're in the playoffs, and that decision making ends up costing you a game, or even worse, the season. I want to see this team win bad. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I'm with you though, man. I'm with you.
I think it's a little bit it's a little bit of nitpicking there. I think it's not.
There's a little bit.
It's been every single game. Every single game we talk about this.
We can do that with any coach, though.
But we're 9-2, though, Randy. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we're winning.
Yes, and I think that's amazing. That in spite of the flaws or whatever, you're not going to have a perfect game. I understand that. That we saw yesterday, they almost blew the damn game, being up 24-10, and you still ended up getting that win to go 9-2 against a divisional rival on the road at Soldier Field. That's big time. That's amazing. But I'm just saying, we've talked about so many moments throughout his entire tenure where we say, hey, that's an issue. And luckily you got away with it, but now you're in a situation where the stakes are higher than they've ever been before without Kirk Cousins. And that is credit to Kevin O'Connell and the job that he has done for these players to want to play for him. The stakes are so much higher, which means that when you get in those high pressure situations, that can be the detriment to your season. Like, objectively, that has been an issue. Every game we talk about this, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't.
Well, you know what? Real quick, SK, before you go, this is what I would suggest, right? Because this is what I do with Kevin O'Connell. I get mad at the moment, right? And then I after the game, I sit back, or I'll go watch the all 22 and realize, like, this motherfucker called a hell of a football game. Honestly, like the totality of the game. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I'm a KOC diehard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, like SK said, when you watch other teams too, like even the best of the best offensive coordinators, man, there's always going to be those sequences where you're going to be like, yo, what the why? You know what I mean?
Andy
why are
Reid
you doing
does it? Sean McVay does
Everybody
it.
does it. I mean, it's okay though to have high expectations. I was like that with quarterback play, and everybody used to come at me hard because I'm like, yo, yes, Kirk Cousins is throwing 4,000 yards, but I don't give a fuck about 4,000 yards. Y'all not understanding me. So I get where you're coming from with it, Randy, because there's something there that you see that bothers you. And me too, though, in a way, but it's only for a moment. And then I sit back and look at the full game, and I look at even the full 3 years that we've had him now. And I'm like, yo, we're winning regardless of how you cut the pie. We're winning a ton of football with him calling the plays. So, I mean, something has to be somewhat right there. You know what I mean? Can it improve? Yeah, absolutely. Everything can improve, I believe. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to be careful what I wish for, though. Because we can give it to somebody else and, man, be fucking pissed, for real. Then,
Yeah, and I mean, we can look at it on the other side of things, to where, say that third down that Nick Mullins comes in, say he throws an interception instead of throwing for a first down to Aaron Jones. then we're sitting here like, KOC's an idiot. Why would you throw it with your backup quarterback? What are you thinking? Blah 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 blah. So I think it all
execution.
Look,
but I hear what you're saying.
If Sam Darnold runs for that first down, we're not even talking about this right now. Like it's not even a topic of conversation, at least this week. So, but
another thing too, real quick, SK, and I'm sorry, man, to cut you off, but I just got to say this real quick because this means something. I think KOC is he trusts his players, right? He's a players coach. We know that, and he trusts his players. So that's why we see a lot of the tendencies we see.
Yeah, this is not a bad thing. I like it, and he's making relationships with opposing quarterbacks afterwards, which I like it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, fuck Caleb Williams.
Yeah, like fuck them boys.
Why are you giving
he's
this?
A positive guy.
He is a positive guy.
I appreciate that about him. So if he's doing that to opposing players like Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson, he's singing the praises of his own players in that locker room. He's a really, really good head coach. And I've said that time and time again.
Right.
But the one objective thing, not going to go into that any further, that I talk about, it's received as, oh, you hate this team. They're 9-2. Shut up and be happy. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to see this team win a championship. Yeah. And I don't want this to be the reason why they don't win a championship.
I feel you.
But we moving on.
No, I feel you on that.
No, I had to get that out. That's the last time I'm gonna do it. Any other time, it's received.
But I'll say this, Randy. If we lose, it's not gonna be because of KOC. It's gonna be because of Sam fucking Darnold. I promise you that. Like, believe me.
Okay,
I wouldn't say
I'm not gonna put out any prophecies. Like whatever happens, happens. But anytime that we talk about that for future games, and it's received as you want KOC fired, which is the exact opposite of what I want. Sure. I'm just going to be like, hey, yo, refer back to this video.
Yeah.
Because I'm done.
He's misunderstood, guys. He's misunderstood. I was in that boat with Kirk, too. Don't worry.
Nah, you had a whole fucking squad around you with Kirk. So you weren't alone on that.
I did, though. We did have a team. We were curb stomping that guy often.
Yeah. So we did this last week to an extent, but I wanted to circle back around it with Randy because I think this is kind of a big deal, and that's predicting our final games in this regular season. We have 6 games left in the season. We're sitting at 9-2. We have opportunities are endless here. They could be as good as the first round bye and first seed in the NFC playoffs. Or it could be you're a 16-2 or 15-2 wild card team, which that's
crazy.
That's a possibility.
You need to realign it after that. That's wild.
Which is crazy, but it's never happened before. Is the crazy thing. So I think the most wins a wild card team has had is maybe 12. I would think so. I don't think we've had a 13-win wild card team, but we have some tough games coming up. We got through the easy stretch of our schedule. We took care of business of the teams that we're supposed to take care of business with. Now it starts to heat up, and it starts with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, obviously, we'll get our prediction for the Cardinals game at the end with our Sizzlin Seven, but we always pick the Vikings anyway. So you already know the prediction for that game unless we're feeling otherwise. But predicting the last 6 games of this season, we'll start with the Cardinals. How do you guys think the Cardinals game goes?
Go ahead, Rap.
Dubs. Nah, I'm going big, man. I'm going big dub on this. And a lot of it has to do with, first of all, the history. I know I touched on this already. Like the last 11 games that we've played Arizona in Minnesota, it's a W. So I'm going for that. The universe just doesn't allow them to win in Minnesota. So I'm going Vikings in that game, and I'm going Vikings big. God damn it. I ain't gonna lie to you. They took a tough loss against the Seattle Seahawks this weekend, but they are a feisty team. I don't want to take anything away. I do believe they're on to something when you're talking about Kyler Murray and your boy Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they're on to something. But I still believe, usually we always give Kyler Murray some trouble, man. You know what I mean? I feel like as far as I can remember, every time we play the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, little ass, be running around that field with his head cut off, bro. Like dead ass. He'll get 1 or 2 good runs because he just always does because he's quick as hell. But usually we make him panic, man, and he just gets frustrated. So I got us winning. I don't see anything changing, man. I think we match up well against them. So I see us getting the dub for sure.
That's going to be a tough game. I mean, I think every game that we play for the remainder of the season is going to be a tough game. Cardinals may be, I mean, outside of the Bears, may be the easiest game, quote unquote, easiest game that we play for the remainder of the season. But I have us winning it, but it's going to be really tight. It's going to be really close. But I think the difference in that is US Bank Stadium, our fans. We haven't had a home game in, I believe, over a month, if I'm mistaken, since the Colts game. So about a month. So I think that crowd's going to be going crazy. We're coming in 9-2. So I think the home field advantage makes a difference in that game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1 or 2 point win.
So I redid my schedule prediction in light of, I think this was after the Jags game when the Vikings were 7-2.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? The Cardinals, they're looking kind of all right. Even though it's at US Bank Stadium, I think if anything, I would give the edge to the Vikings in that regard. But I don't know. I just got a weird feeling about this game. This is actually the first game where I'm going to say I think the Vikings, I think they get an L here. Kyler Murray, you got to practice edge containment against a guy like that. The way that he runs around the field is just ridiculous. He looks like a little child with nonstop speed that can switch up with the footwork whenever it is that he wants to. So discipline is going to be key. This is a different type of quarterback that you're playing against. Not to say that this is the best one you're playing against, just in terms of skill sets. So I think based off of, I'm already on record saying that, all right, my new schedule prediction where the Vikings end up 12-5 or 13-4. One of the losses are going to be against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to stick with it. Although, if the Vikings are going to win, I'm going to give the edge with US Bank Stadium, with this being at home.
Well, I will say this. If you needed some practice to get ready for Kyler Murray, you got the Temu version in Caleb Williams last week. So, I mean, you got
no. You're comparing them to?
Yeah,
their mobility?
I feel like they play very similar, in my opinion. I think
they
Caleb Williams,
I can see that.
I think they're totally different.
Really?
His elusiveness when he gets outside the pocket is unlike anything in this league.
Oh, well, no.
It's a different quick. It's like, all right, Caleb Williams, he has some speed. Kyler Murray has turbo.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that
quickness.
will just frustrate you. It's like basketball. He will cross you up, and as soon as he takes a step forward where you think he's going, he'll go the other direction. It's like NFL Street, bro. Like, he's different.
Well, and that's why I said Caleb Williams is kind of the Temu version of Kyler Murray, to where he has similarities to where there was multiple times in that game against the Bears where I'm like, why are we breaking contain? Keep him in the pocket. Why are we letting him outside of the pocket? Right. You can't do that versus Kyler Murray because he's going to burn you. So you got to be able to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket, and that could be an issue here. But we all know Brian Flores, he's going to scheme. He's going to scheme up his scheme, and he's going to make sure you better contain this guy. You cannot let him outside of the pocket. But that's where I'm getting the comparison with him and Caleb Williams, is that Caleb loves throwing the ball outside of the pocket. He's not fully comfortable at standing in the pocket and delivering it, which there was a few plays in yesterday's game where he did do that. He showed flashes of that, but he just seems a lot more comfortable rolling out of the pocket, getting out of the pocket, and then throwing the ball. And that's where I compare him to Kyler Murray. So, I mean, it's a good kind of practice squad type of, okay, I went up against a quarterback that's similar. Now we're going up against the real deal. And then the week after that, we'll move on to our next game. I like I said, I got the Cardinals in that. It's going to be or Vikings in that. It's going to be a close one though. But Randy, you have the same feeling I kind of felt going into the Bears game, because last week me and Rap were talking about, I'm like, I don't know, man, just something about this game. It's Soldier Field. I just don't have a good feeling. I'm still going to go with the Vikings, but I don't know. So I get where you're coming from there. But moving on to the next game, week, what would that be? Week 14. The Falcons and Kirk Cousins come to US
Bank
Bank
gonna bust
Stadium.
that ass.
Yeah. Yeah, we're winning that game for sure.
Clean.
I mean, first of
Easy.
all, you say the Falcons and Kirk Cousins and all that. We're gonna be hearing that shit leading up to that
Yeah.
game. You know,
Yep.
fuck Kirk Cousins. Listen, I'm not scared of Kirk Cousins, bro. We know what Kirk Cousins is. Why would you even be fearing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, is it possible he could have one of his crazy games? Yeah, it's possible, but it's more likely that he doesn't have them, especially on prime time. Now, the prime time narrative, he's been burying it slowly but surely. But it's not all the way gone yet. You know, this motherfucker here, he just stunk it up just a couple weeks ago. Nobody wanted to talk about it either. That's the crazy part, is when he had his Thursday night fiasco with the 500 yards, every Vikings fan in America was tweeting about the bullshit. Now that he went the next game when he threw for 3 interceptions and only had 100 yards or some bullshit, motherfuckers was quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, keep that same energy come week 14 too, because we're gonna really be able to separate who's a real Vikings fan and who's a Kirk fan, bro. We're gonna see the true colors come out that week, boy. I can't wait for that game, bro.
And
Like,
there's a tiny bit chance that game may be flexed to Monday night. It
I
won't be
hope
flexed.
so.
It won't be flexed to Sunday night because the Sunday night is Chargers Chiefs. I don't expect them to flex that game out.
Mm-mm.
The Monday night game that week is the Bengals and the Cowboys. So that may be a possibility of it being flexed to Monday night. And we all know it could be the accumulative and like the head of Kirk Cousins' entire legacy coming down to one game on Monday night. Playoff hopes could be on the line in Minnesota against a team that didn't want him. And you have it right there in front of you. So, I mean, the storylines are endless in that game. Look, I think our defense can get after him, especially with him not being mobile. But we all know Kirk has those times where he can have a really, really good game against good defenses.
Not anymore.
You don't think so? He just threw for 500 yards against the Bucks defense.
That was weeks ago.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, SK. That's my point. When he's not playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's ass. And guess what? He used up his 2 games already. When he's not playing against the Bucks. We're not talking about old Kirk Cousins with the Vikings and what we have known him to be. We're talking about Kirk Cousins right now. He has been a major disappointment. And going up against this team at his old stumping grounds with this defense, a statue of a quarterback, man, they're going to whoop his ass. Easy.
Yeah.
This
is going to be crazy too.
This is going to be that deciding victory that we've been waiting on outside of the Texans.
Like this game right here, bro, is gonna be so hyped up, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be like a playoff atmosphere. It's gonna be crazy out there. I mean, I can't wait to watch that game, bro. That's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. I think our defense, like you said, I think our defense is just going to punish him, bro. Like we're going to be forcing him to throw the ball quick and early, man. We're gonna be on top of him, bro. Like it's gonna, and I'm gonna tell you, you said earlier that a team that didn't want him and this, that, and the third. No, I think it was the other way around. I think KOC wanted him. He just wanted to chase the money. You know what I mean? He wanted the most money he can get. On top of, now that we're looking at it from hindsight, it's like, his wife is from Atlanta. All of that shit kind of came together now. Now it makes sense. He wants his kids are at a certain age. He wants them to go to school down there, be around family, all that shit. So, I mean, hey, look, it is what it is. The Vikings, I feel like they wanted to extend him and keep him. Then he said, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that leads me to say, well, Kevin O'Connell can take this shit personal, show him have Sam Darnold have a great game plan going into that game, KOC. Have Sam Darnold be the best quarterback that night. And not only that, Brian Flores, hold the chip on your shoulder for this motherfucker for doing that too. And have the defense go out there and punish this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Y'all can hug and do all that lame ass shit after the game. For real. You can have your little, ear to ear, your little ear to mouth preach to his ass after the game. Before the game, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get on him.
Well, yeah, these are one of those matchups to where Brian Flores was here last year with Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. And, I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't an unlikable guy, but he's also a guy that, some guys just don't vibe with. They're just like, he's too corny. I just like, I want to punch him in the face type of guy. Like, I feel like, then B-Flow, we know his kind of history with quarterbacks when you go back to his Tua kind of back and forth and everything. I feel like Flores is not necessarily not liking Kirk Cousins, but he's looking at this like, I practiced against this corny motherfucker all last season. I couldn't send the pressure like I wanted to at practice. We couldn't bang him up like we wanted to at practice. This is my opportunity to get after Kirk. I know his weakness. I know if you get in his face, he gets rattled. He's going to give you opportunities to turn the ball over. So I think this is a defensive game more than anything. I know a lot of people may expect a shootout in this game because it's two really good offenses, but I think this is a game where our defense really like gets off to where we get multiple turnovers. Defense is getting after it with sacks. Grenard with multiple sacks in the game. So I think this could be one of those games where it's like, oh shit, Vikings defense. If you don't think it was real before, this is the game where it shows, okay, Vikings defense.
They so should have brought out the Winter Warrior jerseys out during this game, bro. They so should have did it.
Yeah.
They so should have did it, bro.
Yeah,
like that shit just would have set the vibe even more, dog. Like
I think they wanted it closer to Christmas. I think that was the only.
You said that. You said that. Man.
But I mean, speaking of the Winter Warrior jersey, so we're all going Vikings in that game,
Absolutely.
right? Falcons.
Yeah.
So next game, which it's our final home game of that 3-game home stretch, and we welcome the Bears into US Bank Stadium, a team we just went to overtime with and gave up an 11-point lead in 22 seconds. How you guys see this game going? Win or wide out?
They win much more decisively.
Yep.
Vikings win.
Yep. That's how I feel too. I said that on my post-game show. I think that we're going to actually handle them the second time. The second go around, it's going to be worse for them. We're going to win handily. I think we'll win handily for sure. I'm going Vikes.
I wouldn't say handily, but I say we win a little bit more convincingly than what we did in this past game. But again, it's
I'm going blowout. Let me stop.
Divisional rival. It's always mucky with the Bears.
Yeah,
and I believe is that a Monday? Yeah, it's a Monday night game too.
Yeah, it is.
So us and the Bears on Monday night, if you look at the history of the Vikings Bears on Monday night, it's always ugly, like really, really ugly. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's another ugly one. But I'm going to Vikings too. Next game going on the road. This is a tough one. This has some playoff implications, or it could. Going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. This is a late kickoff. It is Sunday, but it's a late kickoff in Seattle. Could be rainy, could be ugly. 2 playoff teams going at it. Who you guys got?
Go ahead, Rap.
This is the game that I feel kind of similar to what Randy felt against the Arizona Cardinals. I think this game is going to be our third loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this game, I think they match up. When you're talking about a quarterback like Geno Smith, smooth as a motherfucker, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, if he gets in his bag, dog, like he is a scary quarterback. I'm gonna tell you right now, he really is. And when you're talking about Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you got your other big dude, man, what big number 14, DK Metcalf, like man, and then their defense is feisty, bro. They got the cornerbacks that I love, man. All of the guys except for Kobe Bryant, because I didn't really know about him. He moved to safety now, but like I'm telling you, man, they defensive backs are young and they run around that field and hit. I mean, that's going to be a tough game playing in Seattle. I think that is a game where we could easily just lose. Like, we're not going to get manhandled, but it could easily be a game that can look like the Rams game. Honestly, to be honest with you, it can look like the Rams game. Like, we just can't get ahead. We're just an uphill battle all game, and it's going to be nasty, man. So I got an L on that, man. I'm going to give us a third L.
We always struggle in Seattle too. Seattle's just one of those places where it's how the Niners are when they come to Minnesota. Seattle's the Minnesota for us.
I hate
San
Seattle.
Francisco's Minnesota. So it's just one of those places where it's always tough for the Vikings to play and always a tough place for the Vikings to win. I think the last time we won in Seattle, Adrian Peterson was our running back, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, that's
been a while.
Nasty work.
With how often we play the Seahawks too, it's been a while. So don't want to label it a loss, but I don't see us running the table with the rest of our games. So I think we dropped this one to Seattle as well. This is it's just too much history. Not good in Seattle. It's a really good team when they are clicking, and I think they're gonna be really hungry for a win there because they're neck and neck at the top of their division. So yeah, I think we may fall to Seattle here.
I think on top of them having a feisty secondary, SK, like what you said about the London game against the Jets, after Soldier Field, there's something just off about Seattle when you go there. So I'm already on record saying that they're going to lose that game. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
All right. So
the chat saying we breaking streaks though, man. Mark said we breaking streaks though, man. Baller hey, up saying facts, man. We going 15-2 according to I Want to Mock. You feel me? 15.
Hey, and one side note, one thing I can say in KOC's tenure, we've broken some streaks.
We've broken some bad curses. We've broken some bad curses.
We broke the streak against the Colts. We haven't beaten the Colts until that 33-0 comeback a couple years back. I think it was like 20 years or something since we had beat the Colts.
Did he break the kicking curse yet, though? I mean, can we say that with Will the Throw being hurt? I think that has to go towards the curse.
I got to see it in the playoffs. I got to see it in the playoffs.
Let's see him come back. And if anything, John Parker Romo's been
shout
great.
out Romo, man. Romo said,
JPR,
man, we're gonna. Romo said we're gonna come in your trap and take over your trap.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? My boy business casual with it, man.
Didn't even say it right. That was hilarious. Hey, but he looks like the kicker from he looks like the kick from Blue Mountain State.
Shout out my boy Romo,
if you
man.
Watch that show.
Nah, I became a fan after I seen that video, man. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker dead ass too. Like he dead ass serious when he said it too. So shout out to him, man. You feel me?
Yeah. So we all got us falling to Seattle in Seattle. Rough. But hey, never know. Next game, we finish off with two divisional rivals. First one is in US Bank Stadium against the Packers. We already took care of them in Lambeau. Now they come to US Bank Stadium. Who we got?
Vikings. Vikings win. Jair Alexander, hopefully his ass is healthy this time so Justin Jefferson can just make plays on this dude. This bum-ass cornerback who just wants to be involved. You already handled them at Lambeau Field on the road. Now they got to deal with our crowd and how much they hate the Packers. Man, please. Vikings win.
Yeah, I got Vikings too. Real quick, man. Shout out Adam in the building, man, and Mr. I Want to Mock. I will organize that. We'll get that popping for sure. Gary, shout out to you, man. Papa Gary in the building. I miss Papa Gary, man. Papa Gary. I feel like I ain't seen him in forever. Shout out Papa Gary and Adam in the building though.
Yeah,
I definitely have the Vikings sweeping the Green Bay Packers. You know what I'm saying? I got us sweeping, man. Get the brooms out. What was the score when we beat them? I know they came back. I know we almost let them come back.
31-29, I think.
Yeah, that was another like close ass game. Yeah, we let them come back and shit because we were handling them at the beginning of the game. Like we had full control, but again, letting the team claw their way back in, which is, I look at it like I think us Vikings fans, real quick, I think we look at it as this is the Vikings way. But when you look across the NFL, this shit happens to damn near almost every team, to be honest with you, man. Like that
besides the Lions.
Except for the Lions this year. And like every year you'll have your certain outliers, right? Like there was a couple years back when the Ravens, when Lamar won in 2019, when he won the MVP, they were blowing teams out. Remember, they were blowing shit out 55 to 10 and all type of shit. Like you do have every year, there's always that one team that just seems to got it figured out. But most of the time, man, it's always fucking, just a team will jump out ahead and then the fucking team, the worst of the two teams will start clawing back and make it interesting. But I'll say we're gonna win this game at least by 2 scores. I think we're gonna smack them. Now, I will say this. When I say 2 scores, I mean at least 10. Now, I don't want to go crazy with it, but I will say this: the Packers, I think there is a lot of teams sleeping on them, a lot of people sleeping on them, because they are playing some decent football, bro. They really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like they're well coached, man. They're a well coached football team, bro.
Very well
And I think
coached, yeah.
that's what like separates them from a lot of the other teams, not us, but like other teams. What makes them be able to beat them? So
they're capable of beating any team in the league.
Yeah,
when
that's a fact,
they're when they're not turning the ball over, they're
that's a
extremely
fact.
well coached. They got a good enough defense that takes the ball away. They can beat anyone in the league. They're a dangerous team.
Yeah, they
for
are
sure.
dangerous. Yep.
I mean, they're 8-3 for a reason. Like
Yeah.
two of their losses was against us and Detroit, and I'm trying to think who their other loss was against.
I think they lost. Was it to the Eagles?
The Eagles. Week 1, yes.
It was week
They-
1. The
Brazil.
Eagles.
Their 3 losses are to the top 3 teams in the NFC right now. So they're team number 4 in the NFC.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they can beat either one of those teams on any given Sunday. Just like I feel like we could beat any team in the league on any given Sunday when we're clicking.
Right.
But I got the Vikings in this game as well. Again, I don't think we have a blowout win the rest of the season.
No.
I'm
think
just
all
shooting for
these-
the stars. Goddamn.
All these games are going to be
against
tight,
the
but
Falcons. I can see it.
Okay.
I don't see a blowout against. I just feel like they have way too much firepower.
We ain't the Bucks, and firepower like what? Kyle Pitts. We've been talking about for years how he's going to explode now.
Bijan
all
Robinson,
he needs is a quarterback.
Drake London, Darnell Mooney. Those are legit playmakers.
They got They do have some names, but I'm gonna tell you, man, they've been exposed the past couple weeks, man.
No, they
like, let's just call it for what it is.
We're not the Bucks.
Absolutely, they have.
Yeah,
But
like they're talking about benching Kirk, man. They're about to start Penix. We might not even be playing Kirk. I'm gonna be honest with you. Depending on how he plays this Sunday right here, we might not even be playing Kirk. Keep it honest.
Yeah.
We got to play him.
So
Send him
that
to the
brings
ground.
us to the last game of the season. This could be the deciding factor in the NFC North and the number 1 seed in the NFC. We are traveling to Detroit to play the Lions. The date and the time is to be determined depending on what is on the line in that game. It could be a Saturday game. Usually that means there's not much on the line if it's a Saturday game. If it's a Sunday game, specifically a late Sunday game, something's going to be on the line, and more than likely the NFC North division. The Lions have a tough schedule to finish off the season, so I don't think they run the table either. So there is a very good chance this game is for the NFC North and the number 1 seed. How do you guys see it going?
Go ahead, Rap.
I don't think it's gonna be for the number 1 spot, honestly. I think the Lions are gonna I don't. I think, like we just had the conversation. I think we're gonna wind up dropping another game. So we're gonna we're definitely dropping another game. And that means that the Lions are gonna have to lose 2 of their next 6 games, I guess. So and I just don't see that happening with their schedule. I just don't see that happening. I could see them losing 1 to the Bills, but we had the 49ers as a threat to them. Not anymore, bruh.
Nah,
like they are gonna smack the 49, even with Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy hasn't even been playing that good. Christian McCaffrey isn't the X factor now that he once was. He's been kind of slacking, only getting 3 yards a carry. So they're just not the same. They're getting older.
It depends on who they lose to. So if they lose to the Bills, that gives them a little more room to where that week 18 game against us, if they lose it, they can still win the division if we end up with the same record. Now, if the Packers beat them, that changes everything because that gives them a divisional loss. We have that 1 divisional loss against them. In that final game, if we end up with the same record, that will be the deciding factor of who has those 2 divisional losses in the NFC North, and that will be the ultimate deciding factor on who wins the NFC North. So and we just said the Packers are capable of beating anybody in this league when they're on point.
That is a fact.
It's a Thursday game. We all know those Thursday games can be a little quirky, even though they're going to have a full week of rest because both teams play on Thanksgiving, so they'll have a full 7 days rest. But that's a toss-up game to me. Packers-Lions is a toss-up game to me. And then immediately after that, you have the Bills and Lions, even though they got 10 days off to get ready for the Bills. I think it's more likely that they lose to the Packers than they lose to the Bills, in my opinion.
I think they have to lose 2 straight to the Packers and the Bills for week 18 to be worth the number 1 seed, having that up for grabs. With that said, if the number 1 seed is up for grabs, as well as the NFC North division. I'm up in the air. Hey, catch me for the preview week 18. Because you need everything to go right to beat this team. Granted, you lost against them in a 2-point loss. It was really close, but man, every week they just get better and better. They seem like an unstoppable force. That, hey, catch me week 18 for the preview vid.
No, for sure.
I got to think about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
I hope it comes down to that, just off the drama and everything that can go along with it.
Oh yeah.
I want it.
It'd be great. It'd be great for entertainment.
I want that
purposes.
opportunity.
Yeah.
So, but
I hope it happens. Hey, look, nothing to be better than Thanksgiving where the Bears beat the damn Lions. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. That would be a great Thanksgiving gift.
They have the Bears twice still too as well.
Because they play the Bears this Thursday on Thanksgiving.
They play them on Thanksgiving, which I think the Lions always usually take care of business on Thanksgiving, even when they suck. That was their Super Bowl at the time. They always play really good on Thanksgiving. I think they take care of the Bears. But December 22nd in Chicago, weather could be really ugly that day.
Okay.
That could be a possible L. And we may be reaching for straws here and we're looking for any scenario. But that's our job. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. But that could be a possible loss. That's a divisional rival right there. The Bears. And we know the Bears are going to play you tough. You look at the Bears' losses this year, there's not very many bad losses from the Bears. It was an overtime loss to us. It was a missed field goal from beating the Packers. A Hail Mary from Washington. Like, there's a lot of games there where Chicago probably should have won, but there was little things where they just screwed up and they lost the game. So I wouldn't count them out against the Lions. Thanksgiving, I could see them getting their ass whooped. December 22nd, that's going to be a tough game for the Lions. And then the Lions play San Francisco, which I think San Francisco's ship has sailed, even though they're still in the mix for their division. They're able to get
They're
healthy.
just not the same.
Nah, they're
I think their window like that,
closed.
their window's just shut, man. It's about to be they're about to have a whole new revamp. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Shanahan even gets the fuck out of there. Like, I think there's about to be a whole new.
I don't think that's a hot take at all.
I'm telling you, it's about to be a whole new 49ers face of the 49ers in the next year, bro. Believe it.
So at that point, then I'm like, okay, maybe KLC should give up play calling duties and we just hire Kyle Shanahan and we just
I think another team's gonna pursue him.
Hire him as a head coach.
Yeah, to be honest with you, man, I've been watching my boys at Bears Central, man. Shout out to them fellas, man. F the Bears, but shout out to them brothers over there because they be putting in that work. And their little rumor mill around their little organization and what they got going on, and a lot of Bears content creators are talking about Kyle Shanahan being maybe an option for them because Eberflus is out of there. You know what I'm saying? Eberflus is out of there. So I mean, shit, he could be. That would suck, though, wouldn't it? To have to go against Kyle Shanahan. I mean,
I don't think so. I think that powerful image he once had is long gone. He's been stubborn as hell, not playing his best players. And if you're stubborn as a head coach, we saw that firsthand with the former head coach in Minnesota. It's not going to work out. So I'm honestly not afraid of him anymore.
I wouldn't want to see him matched up with Caleb Williams and that potential of defense they have. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. I'm gonna tell you right now, to see that shit 2 times a year, I'm straight on that. You know what I mean? I'd rather going from an Eberflus to that motherfucker. The Bears, they might actually could be something. If they can incorporate his. Just imagine his play scheme with Caleb Williams. Like, Caleb Williams would probably look really clean out there, bro. It would definitely benefit him. But again, I mean, the chances of that happening are probably low. But I do believe Kyle Shanahan's out of San Fran for sure. Yeah, I do believe he's out of San Fran.
Be interesting. So, all right. So pretty much week 18 is we'll check back. But right now, if we have to pick right now, I gotta go. I hate to say it, I gotta go Lions. Right now,
to go Lions. Yeah.
Right now, a lot can change.
Right now,
A lot can change in 4
Right
weeks.
now, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go opposite of y'all. I'm gonna go Vikings if I gotta go. Only because that game we played against them. I'm only saying this due to the fact that game was a toss up and that game was identical. When you look at it statistically, that game was identical. That shit was literally. That's what you literally call a fucking coin flip game right there. And Dan Orlowski was saying that the Rams were the only team that went toe to toe with the Lions. This motherfucker must have forgot that we played them, and he must have not have looked at any statistics at all to think that the Rams are the only team this season that went toe to toe. That was his words verbatim. The only team that went toe to toe with the Lions were the Los Angeles Rams. What a clown! And they get paid millions to get on there and talk about this shit. Like we just be doing this shit for the fun ski. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a shame, bro. You got to do better than that, Dan. You know what I mean? You're getting too much money to be talking like that.
If anything, that lets you know it doesn't take much to build up an audience.
Yeah.
Which is why we do what we do.
Just bullshit and fucking talk a bunch of, man, that shit pissed me off, man. To be honest with you, because man, it's like, bro, quit playing with us. You know what I mean? I hate when the motherfuckers be playing with us like that. You know what I'm saying?
We were 1 4th down conversion from icing that game.
Exactly.
1 4th down conversion from icing it. But hey, look, it is what it is. You live and you learn. You have another opportunity against them week 18. So looking forward to it. But let's get to our Sizzlin 7. And it looks like things are getting back to where they should be. With Randy going 2-5 last week.
Back to where they should be. Yeah, we back down to earth. Yeah, Randy went against the grain last week, and it bit him in the ass for sure.
Yeah, he got it the week before, right. And you weren't even here to bask in it. That was the thing.
I know
you weren't even here to bask in it, man.
Yeah.
So everybody, let's root on Randy. He had a good week 12.
Man, I don't want no 13. Charity cheers.
We did have him Texas picks while we were on live though. So you know what I mean? It was legit. It was
here's
legit.
one game that I will kind of give you guys the benefit of the doubt for, and that was the 49ers Green Bay game. When we made the pick for that game, we didn't have any knowledge of whether or not Brock Purdy was going to play or not. Yep. And that obviously made a huge difference in that game with them losing, 38-10 or something like that. Yeah. But just to review the games, obviously Minnesota at Chicago. We all picked Minnesota. Guessing that right. Arizona at Seattle. Randy was the only one to pick Arizona, so me and Rap got the point for that one. 49ers at Green Bay. I was the only one to pick Green Bay. Eagles at the Rams. Me and Rap picked Eagles. Got the point on that one. We all picked Denver against the Raiders. And then we all struck out with the Titans at the Texans and the Steelers at the Browns. So I went 5-2 last week. Rap went 4-3, and Randy went 2-5 with our totals coming to. I'm at 54-30. Rap's at 49-35, and Randy is at 45-39.
Ooh. So, that's nasty.
6 games above 500.
Hey, progress. It was a lot worse earlier on.
Yep. You did make up for it the last one for sure.
So we got a few good games this week, and we're going to start with a Thanksgiving matchup, and that is Miami at Green Bay. I think it's gonna be a really good game. What you guys got? Well, I'll go first. I'm gonna go Green Bay. Just a better team, better coached. I'm going Green Bay.
Packers.
Oh man, this is tough here, man. You know what? Fuck that. I know we said, hey, look, I know we said the Packers, or it can beat any team and they're good and they're scary. But Thanksgiving just feel right this year, man. You know what I mean? I'm thankful, man. I'm gonna be real thankful this year. So I'm going with the Miami boys, man. You know what I mean? Them Dade County boys. You feel me? Give me the damn Dolphins, man. Fuck that.
They don't do well in cold weather. We saw them in the playoff game against.
They're playing in Green Bay.
At Arrowhead. They're playing in Green Bay. At night, it's going to be cold as hell.
But it's too late. You already made your
too late.
Yep. Dolphins can swim at night. Fuck it. Give me the Dolphins.
Can't swim if it's frozen.
All right. So moving to the Thanksgiving morning game, NFC North Division matchup. Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. I think we're all going Lions, right?
Yeah, Lions.
Yeah, give me the fucking line. I want to go. I want to go the Bears so bad. I want to go against the grain so bad, but I gotta stop. I gotta stop doing that shit. Yeah,
they're gonna get an upset
give me the
victory
Lions.
sometime in these next few weeks. I can see it.
It ain't gonna be this week. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It ain't gonna be this week. They ass about to get embarrassed in front of the whole world to see why they fucking cooking their Thanksgiving. They're gonna be getting their ass stomped out there for sure. Yeah,
all right, so we're all going Detroit there. Next matchup, the Chargers at the Falcons.
Give me the Chargers. Yeah.
Chargers?
Yeah, give me the Chargers. Well, how the Chargers doing right now? Somebody drop the score in the thing, man.
Let me check. Let me check.
Because this is a good game tonight.
I got you.
This will let you know.
Ravens up 14-13 at the half.
Okay, this is a good game. Exactly. Yeah, I got to tap in.
All right, so you guys are going Chargers?
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going Falcons.
Okay.
Hey man, listen to your leader, man.
Okay, whatever. You about to lose this week. Your ass going down.
Hey man, look. Not everybody can have 50 game picks correct. But,
Oh, he on his high horse. Okay, boy on his high horse tonight.
I'm steady Eddie over here, man.
Steady
I'm
Eddie.
going 5-2 every week.
Every week, I see you. Okay.
All right, so next matchup we have. This is a really good matchup. I'm excited for this one. Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens.
That's a really good game.
Oh,
it's tough matchup.
That is tough.
That's a really good game, actually. Give me the Eagles. I'm going Philly.
Okay.
Where's it at?
It's in Baltimore.
Is it a night game?
It is. No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, give me the Eagles.
This is really tough because you have two of the top running backs in the league going up against each other. Mm-hmm. And while Baltimore's defense has not been great, with it being at M&T Bank, man, you know what? It's going to be a runoff. I'll take the Ravens.
Good.
I'm going to go Ravens.
Judgment.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
I'm going to go Ravens.
Good. You know what I'm saying? It's my comeback week, baby. Let's go.
Baltimore, they've lost, 2 straight now? 3 straight now? I mean, obviously, we're not counting this game, but I think that they find the rhythm again and they get one of those big, splashy victories.
Yo, the Eagles look dangerous, though, but I'm telling you, bro.
Hate to say it, they do.
The Eagles ain't bullshit. It's Saquon Barkley, bro.
At some point, that's got to break. That's got to be over.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. They're due for a loss.
If he gets
Ravens,
hurt.
They just lost against the Steelers last week, but before that, they won 2 straight.
Okay.
So I'm going to take, Ravens. I feel better about it.
I'm going to go Ravens, too.
Okay.
So, next matchup, Pittsburgh at the Cincinnati Bengals. Think it's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good-ass game, too. Damn, there's some good games on this.
Damn.
That's hard. Those are hard games. I ain't going to
Pittsburgh coming off a loss.
Yeah.
But Mike Tomlin, he'll have him ready to bounce
Yeah.
back. Jameis Winston is
10 days,
like,
too.
He just brings that energy, good vibes.
He does.
Snow glow. Just.
I'm glad we didn't get him though. I know people were. Like, "Oh, the Vikings should bring in Jameis Winston." Man, fuck that. I'm glad we did not have to go through that roller coaster ride, boy. You hear me? I don't care. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Trust me. We would have been cursing that bastard out every week. We would have been. Not only that. But think about having to hear the pregame. It's fun when he's on somebody else's team and he does it. You can enjoy it. You can embrace it. But if he was on your favorite team doing that bullshit and then going out there and throwing 3-4 interceptions again, you would be pissed. You would be like, you know what? Next game, just shut the fuck up and go play football. You feel me? But I do like Jameis Winston, though, what he does on the Browns, though. You feel me? I don't like it. I wouldn't like it on the Vikings, but I do love
He's
what he does.
If you're a team that has absolutely no expectations,
you
just want to have a fun season, Jameis Winston is your guy.
Exactly. Exactly. He's perfect for the Browns right now. He's perfect for the Browns. You know
I'm going to go Pittsburgh too. So you're going Pittsburgh,
I'm going Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay. So we're all going Pittsburgh for that one.
I didn't make a pick yet. Hold on, wait.
Randy's still thinking he's going to go with his boy Jameis.
I was going to go Steelers. I was going to go Steelers here, but since you both picked them,
you got to catch up somewhere.
I'm going to say the Bengals.
Okay. All right. And then we got somewhat of a toilet bowl, but I think it's going to be a good game. And that is the Colts traveling to New England to play the Patriots.
What time is it at?
That is I'm sure it's a
Hold on, real quick. Is that the last game? Then what other game? That's the only
10 a.m.
game.
It's that game, and then it's
Vikings,
Arizona,
Cardinals.
Minnesota.
Oh, so damn. Okay, yeah. So all right, give me the Colts. I'm taking the Colts on that. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Colts too. I'll go Colts too.
Yeah. No, Mark, we can't do this channel. We're working on it. We're only, we got to make sure y'all hitting the like button, pushing the video out. We're like an hour away from super chats. Yeah, we're like
low key. Next Monday we might have super chats up. And
so it's possible, man, for sure.
Yeah, get our watch hours in. So if you haven't went and seen an old episode that you want to go tap in, get us those watch hours. I think we need less than 200 watch hours left, which we average about 150 each video that we put out of watch hours. So, hey, man, hit those watch hours, and then we'll have super chats cracking hopefully by next Monday. If not next Monday, the following Monday for sure. We'll have the super chats cracking for you.
It'll be for the Kirk. Definitely be there for the Kirk post. Kirk post react. You feel me? Like, we gonna need them super chats if y'all want to talk shit. We gonna need that. We gonna need that because we on it. We on his helmet. You hear me? For sure.
Yes, sir. And that brings us to the final Sizzlin 7 game pick, and the obvious one: Arizona at Minnesota. And remember, for Vikings games, we're always giving a bold prediction and a score prediction as well. So, what's your guys' prediction?
I mean, I got to go with the Cardinals. I'm already on record saying it. So I have to stick with it. Bold prediction, they lose off of a walk-off field goal.
Okay.
So and you know what? They're up by 1. The Vikings, Arizona, they kick a field goal. They win by 2.
Okay.
Wrap. All right. Real quick, man, we're going to get everybody. I just want to address the chat real quick. I know we don't usually address it too much, but I just want to address, we're going to get y'all moderated, man. We going to have Wrench Gang popping too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll log in and get Rich Gang. We already know the ones that always support and always here to, help kind of moderate the chat. So we'll make sure we get it. Mark, I'm surprised you don't have Wrench Gang on Vocal Vike, man. I got to get you right, man. I just remind me on Friday, man. Remind me on Friday. You definitely deserve that.
Are you modding Mark on my channel?
Yeah, you got to mod Mark, man. You got to mod.
Like, I feel like he is, but if not, I'll add him.
But remind me on you won't have to remind me, Mark. I got you, man. I'll make sure I get you right. But I got the Vikings winning this game. I'm gonna say 28-24. 28-24. I'm gonna say bold prediction is going to be that bold prediction we can just say like a player and stuff like a player going off. Is that
anything,
what we're talking about?
As long as it's bold. Bold.
No, it's gonna be super bold. You know what I mean? Super bold. You hear me? Maybe not, but it depends on how you look at it. You feel me? But my thing is this: I got Justin Jefferson bouncing back. Justin Jefferson's gonna have 2 touchdowns during this game because he hasn't had a touchdown in the past 5 games. Believe it or not. Right, which is wild to think about. It's crazy to think about with Justin Jefferson. So I'm going to say he's going to have 2 touchdowns and he's going to have over 100. He'll have 150. He'll have at least 150. Let's say that. So 150 or more in 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, like the crazy bounce back game. I think. Technically, you don't want to call it a bounce back game because he did what he had to do for his team to be able to eat. And I know we talked about the JJ effect and letting other players eat. But I do believe that Kevin O'Connell, definitely knowing that he's a superstar and knowing he has to get Justin Jeff, find ways to get him the ball, regardless of what the defense is throwing at him. It doesn't matter. A good head coach is going to find ways to get his best player the ball. I mean, we've seen it with Cooper Kupp when he won Triple Crown. But by week 5, every team was triple covering him too. But guess what? They figured out ways to put him in motion, get him open, whether that's quick passes, screens, whatever. And I think KOC is going to lock in his office this week right here and have a talk with Justin Jefferson and say, look here, man, I promise you we're going to get together with Sam Darnold. We're going to get you to go off this week. This your week. So that's my bold prediction.
Okay. I got the Vikings. And my bold prediction is that it's going to look like the first 5 weeks of the season, Vikings, how we get off to an early start. I say we go up by 2 possessions, and then the Cardinals find a way to work their way back into the game. And then I'm on the opposite spectrum as Randy here. I think the Vikings get the last second field goal and win the game 24-23.
Hold on, so Randy has us losing this game, right? Randy, you got us losing, right?
Oh wow.
Yep. Got us
originally going into the season. I was like, oh, you'll be
bro. You're breaking the
chain,
good luck
yeah.
charm,
The
bro. Like, what's up? Why you gotta be so different, man? You know what I mean? You gotta go against the grain, bro. Like,
I just call it like I see it, man.
Hey, that's a fact. Though.
I want the Vikings to win.
Respect
Don't get me wrong, but it's just this team, this matchup, this quarterback, man, it's different. And do you have the speed on the edge to practice containment against that type of elusive quarterback? We'll see.
Yeah.
I want them to win.
You know, for sure.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I get it.
As we know as Vikings fans, there's always going to be some sense of drama in our game. So I don't expect anything less. I expect a really, really close game. Either way it lands. But yeah, I have them win the last second field goal 24-23. But
now I know we've been on live for an hour and 15. We know we gave y'all a good long show tonight. Make sure y'all definitely hit the like button. Can we just answer one thing real quick before we get up out of here, man? I want the chat to answer this shit.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, but because we touched on at the beginning, and I just got to know. I'm seeing stuff. I see Ian Rappaport on ESPN right now as we speak, talking about the Vikings are the #1 team to land Daniel Jones. All right. Like, is this happening, Vikings Nation, man? Like, is this seriously about to happen, bruh? Because I feel like it is. We got rid of Caleb Evans. We brought up Nick Muse because of the Josh Allen. That was obvious. I know people were coming at me saying, oh, they already filled the roster spot with Nick Muse. It's like, bitch, Nick Muse is temporary, and it proved I was proven right. He's already out of there, which is nasty work to cut him on his birthday, to be honest with you. I thought Vikings had a little bit more class than that. Like, that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of fun. Happy birthday. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, them boys said happy birthday and fuck you in the same sentence. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm just seeing now, I'm just seeing all of this talk and hype. And for some reason, it just feels like it's right. KOC came out and said how much he respects Daniel Jones and he's always liked Daniel Jones. I mean, is this happening, man? Can we touch on that just for 10 minutes?
Sure. That's okay.
I don't think it will happen. But if I was Kwesi, I'd do it. You need draft picks. That's your compensatory pick right there. The guy's going to sign for a backup quarterback wage somewhere. And that's going to run them about $7 to $10 million for Daniel Jones. That's going to get you, I believe, a 3rd round compensatory pick, if I'm not mistaken. It depends on how much they sign for, I think. So, we have a 1st round pick, and I believe our next pick is until like the 4th or 5th round in this year's draft.
Yeah.
Which we won't get the compensatory pick in this draft. But you need those picks. So, I think it's a good move to do so. I don't think it changes anything in the quarterback room. I don't think he becomes the backup quarterback. I think Nick Mullins remains quarterback too, even if Daniel Jones does come in. But if we're looking at the future and saying, hey, we're trying to gather these draft picks and, fill this team out, and that could be used to trade for another star player, I think it's a good move. It's not going to cost you anything. It's the vet minimum. Why
so
not?
Vikings, real quick before Randy goes, Vikings, according to Rap Sheet, Vikings are #1, 49ers #2, Raiders #3, Ravens #4. So those are the 4 top teams that are known to be interested, according to, Ian Rappaport. So, there's your 4 teams, but Vikings are the #1 team. So there's obviously been a lot of steam, and they say where there's smoke, there's goddamn fire. And this, I believe it. You know what I mean? I do believe that Kwesi's on the phone. And then, like, it's week 13, bro, and we're doing all this weird moving shit. Like, that is making me nervous, man. Cutting this guy, adding it, cutting this guy again. Like, there's just too much going on, man. This shit getting funky, man. I don't know. I think it's about to happen.
Go ahead, Randy.
For the comp pick, I think they are going to do it. And I think it's worth making that signing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at the same time, I will say, objectively speaking, that for a backup quarterback, because that's his ceiling now for Daniel Jones, I do think he provides more upside than Nick Mullins.
No.
However, because
Don't you start this, Randy.
because with his scrambling ability, I do think as a passer, they're the exact same guy, although Nick Mullins has more confidence than Daniel Jones. But his scrambling ability, I think, gives Daniel Jones the upside.
Mm-hmm.
But in Nick Mullins' defense, as much as I've trashed this dude nonstop, the times that he has come in this year when Sam Darnold has gone out for a couple of plays, Nick Mullins, he did his job.
Yeah.
Yesterday, against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field, 2 plays, 2 first downs. Of course, it's always going to regress to the means at some point. Hopefully, you don't have to rely on Nick Mullins for the long haul, but he's making a case for himself. So I think they'll do it for the comp pick, but if they do bring him in and he's the immediate backup, I won't be upset.
And real quick, Nick Mullins has been with the program for 3 years, and I think KOC really values that. So, I mean, and listen, I'm okay. Like when Sam Darnold went down, I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel some kind of knot to my stomach just knowing that he's been the starter and kind of like you want him to be out there.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, I don't want Nick Mullins to come in. But then again, when Nick Mullins does come in, I do have enough confidence as a Vikings fans to know that he can run the system. Now, whether he runs the system correctly or not, as far as making the right decisions on throwing the ball, that's another discussion to have. But at the end of the day, at least you know he understands it because he's been with Kevin O'Connell since he got here. So they both got here the same year, right? I think Nick Mullins got in.
Yeah, we traded for him.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where they're kind of like locked at the hip as far as learning the Vikings organization together, learning that offense from day one together. So, I mean, it's one of those things where there's a comfortability there that I really enjoy. But again, Daniel Jones, if I think it could happen. If it does happen, I agree with you fellas. I think it would be a good move in a sense of keeping him the backup. I just don't want I don't want the fans to take their eye off of the prize, man.
Oh, no,
and that's JJ McCarthy, man, you know, because what I would hate to happen is Daniel Jones comes in and KOC finds a way to elevate this guy's game because he is athletic, like we talked about with the running and shit like that. And he can semi-throw. Like he's had his games where he can throw, but if you look, everybody thinks KOC is this QB whisperer that can just turn a motherfucker into Tom Brady. That's cool. But I just don't want it to shadow what we have parked in the garage right now for 2025. I don't want no kind of delays, holdups. I don't want to be arguing with Vikings fans and off season talking about no, Daniel Jones needs to start the first 5 weeks because JJ's still young. I'm not going through that shit next year, bro. I will stop doing this shit for real. Like I'm not coming back on here until number 9 starts.
This whole shit down.
We shutting shit down, bro. Like
JJ
I'm not
McCarthy
gonna fuss
next
with
year.
you. Nah, for sure, man.
That
was
good.
I'm glad we touched on it. I wanted to hear you guys about that.
Look how far we've come. We're getting some Mullins praise from Randy and a little bit from It warms my heart to see how far this show has come and the support of Nick Mullins. I appreciate that, guys. That really means a lot to me.
Realistic.
I mean, it's Nick Mullins.
Call it for what I see it.
It's Nick Mullins.
Hey man.
What's up with your obsession with this Nick Mullins shit? Like, what's up? Like,
no,
that is a good question.
I'm a Nick Mullins defender because every time,
why?
Because every time we're comparing, I'm not comparing him, but people are like, Jaren Hall is just so much more upside than Nick.
So is that
Mullins.
your standard, Jaren Hall?
And then every other backup quarterback is so much better than Nick Mullins, and I'm
you
like,
already got Nick Mullins praise from me, man. Why we gotta go back to the Jaren Hall thing? I mean, if we have to really go back there, KOC didn't give him a fair chance. But I'm not even trying to go down.
Hey, all we need is 2 more years, everybody, and Randy will have his Nick Mullins skits going crazy. You know what I mean? Inside the Sean Mannion 2.0s, baby. Let's go.
Hey, look, Sean Mannion could never throw the ball the way Nick Mullins throws the ball. Let's be real.
No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. I'm definitely not going to sit up here and defend Sean Mannion.
I'll be the first to tell you, Nick Mullins is turnover prone. Like this dude loves giving the other team the ball. But at the same time, I'd rather you turn the ball over 3 times and also throw for 400 yards then turn the ball over 2 times and throw the ball for like 105 yards. So it's like, give me Mullins every time. But we won't spend too much time on that. But shout out to my dog Nick Mullins, man. I'm riding for you out here, my guy.
We had a great show tonight, man.
Tristan Jackson, let's go, my guys.
This was a great show tonight, man. We did a little extra tonight, man. A little 30 minutes extra since Randy wasn't with us last week, so we had to put in a little bit of overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had to make up for those hours he missed.
Yeah, we had to have him. We had to have him work some overtime this week.
Just want to see this team win, man.
That's a fact.
So anything else you guys want to leave the people with, man, before we get up out of here?
Just win. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Man. Turkey's overrated.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. I know I can speak for all 3 of us, man. We're super thankful for you guys supporting the channel. That's a fact. Make sure everybody this week, man, just look at the little things and be thankful for it, man. Because we definitely thankful for you guys, man. Like being able to come here and support us while we talk Vikings football. This shit's amazing. I couldn't ask for a better community, bro. Like that's a fact. So shout out to the chat tonight, man. Y'all doing y'all thing.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
And be thankful for Nick Mullins too.
And be thankful for Nick Mullins, y'all. When y'all go to bed tonight, make sure you pray about how you better be glad we got Nick Mullins on this team. Man. You better thank the higher ups.
Damn right. The main catalyst for Sam Darnold's success on this football team, Nick Mullins.
Because when you need a third and 20, the only one man that you can call on, boy, Nick Mullins. I'm telling you right now. Hey, he gonna make it happen.
Call him. All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys for tapping in. As always, if you don't already, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. We're this close away from being monetized, guys. That's our goal. So we're this close. So hopefully next show will be there. And you guys can send those super chats over and get things rolling. But if you don't already, hit that follow button as well on Spotify. We're trying to get those numbers up too. So when you're at home or at work and you can't necessarily watch our podcast, head on over to Spotify, look up Purple Parlor, and give us a follow and listen to us on there. Get us some downloads, man. So we're really trying to branch out to different platforms. And then obviously follow us on Instagram and TikTok where we post our shorts, even though we post our shorts on YouTube as well. But go ahead and give us a follow on those at Purple Parlor 4 on TikTok and then at Purple Parlor 1 on Instagram. So again, thank you guys for tapping in. It is your boy SK. I'm here with Realistic Randy. Rap. This is the Purple Parlor. Until next time, y'all. Skol Vikings.
I say the same. I say the same. I say the same.